Good evening, groovy citizens, and happy fantastic Friday. You guys, it is Friday. The weekend is here. I hope you all have great plans for the weekend. I have a training class I'm attending tomorrow. I have to record a podcast. Of course, I have my car conversation that I have to do. And then I'm going to write the next chapter in a book that I'm working on for a friend. And after that, y'all, I'm just going to sit back and chill. Probably go grab some dinner later on or something. But I don't have any real major plans for the weekend, and I'm all right with that. So hopefully you all have had a wonderful day. I know my day has been wonderful, busy as always, but wonderful nonetheless. And y'all know I tell you every day that I wake up, after I thank God, I say, Lord, today is going to be a great day no matter what. And it always is. Even with its issues, both large and small, and sometimes in between, it's always a great day. Why? Because I am here and you are here. Now, before I jump into my video, you guys, I tried this today. And when I tell you this stuff is good, y'all, I don't know where I've been. It's sparkling ice, and this is black raspberry, 0 sugar with vitamins and antioxidants. And this whole bottle, which is a... what size is this? I don't know what size this is, y'all. 17 ounces, 5 calories for 17 ounces. So I'm going to have to start getting these. I said, oh, where have I been? Because I love this. But yes, this is some good stuff. So I don't know if you all have ever tried it. It comes in all kind of flavors. But if you haven't, make sure you try that, because that'll keep you from drinking sodas. It's perfect. And you're getting your water in. Okay, now let's jump into today's topic, because I don't want to hold you long. Today's topic is, I need you to push through it. I don't know who needs this today, but I need you to push through it. Too often I see people giving up on themselves, giving up on whatever it is that they're trying to do, but I need you to push through it. So I'm going to share some quotes. As always, I will unpack it, leave you with a great takeaway, and bid you good evening. And so this first quote is by Bishop T.D. Jakes, and he says, every so often you'll go through a period in your life you will see yourself as a failure because you don't see yourself operating in the way that you dreamed that you would. And again, that quote is by Bishop T.D. Jakes. And you know, he's absolutely right. There are times in our lives when things don't work out the way we had planned or the way we saw them. And you can start to feel like a failure. There have been plenty of times in my life I felt that way. But just as soon as I feel that way, I go, Michelle, stop it. That thing may not have worked out. Or, you know, you may not have been able to reach the level that you had wanted to on whatever that issue is, but you have done too many great things in your life. Don't you sit back thinking you're a failure just because one thing didn't quite work out. Maybe it was God's will that it didn't work out. I don't know. But don't you ever consider yourself to be a failure because something didn't work out the way you wanted it to. This next quote is unknown, and it says, the pressure in your life right now has a purpose. Let me say this again, y'all. Really listen. The pressure in your life right now has a purpose. It's not crushing you. It's pushing what's on the inside of you out. It shows you who you are. It's how you find out what's on the inside of you. And again, that quote is unknown. Some of you are going through some stuff, and you're thinking to yourself, Lord have mercy, this is going to expose my weakness. But I believe it's doing just the opposite. See, when you go through some stuff, you'd be surprised that as you go through whatever that thing is or those things are, it's pushing what's on the inside of you out. And a lot of times I think people don't realize how truly strong they are until they start going through something. So I don't know about you, and I know you think, I'm sure you done lost your mind if you sitting here telling me that I need to be thankful for the times that I'm going through stuff. I know I am, because it's shown me that I'm stronger than what I thought. It's shown me that I have more in me than what I actually thought I have. So I want you to look at it that way as well. Next quote, Bishop T.D. Jakes, he says, you will not be challenged in your convenience. Come on, somebody, y'all, that'll shout you right there. You will not be challenged in your convenience. You will be challenged in your chaos. Opportunity comes in chaos. a chance to stand up, a chance to get it right, a chance to make a U-turn. So your challenges come in the midst of chaos. Do you ever realize how when everything is going right and you're not being challenged, then life is life. Everything is good. But as soon as you have an issue or a concern, all right, all right, see ya, be safe driving.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was my dad. But as soon as you are being challenged, that's when you can really stick out your chest and you get to show the world what you're truly made of. But it's not going to happen in your convenience. Like I said, when nothing's going on, there's no reason for anything to show up and show out. Oh, but honey, be tested. Be tested, and that is when you will really determine or find out who and what you really are. The next quote is by Eric Thomas, and he says, "What I need you to do is find a reason to keep going. And if you can find a reason to keep going, I know you're strong enough to do it because you're human." If you can find a reason to keep going, then you are stronger than you think you are. You know how many times I've talked to someone and they say, "Oh, Michelle, I don't know if I can do this. I'm just not strong enough. I'm not made like you and other people and this, that, and the third." Stop. You're still here, sweetie. You're strong enough. So you can do it. But you have to believe that you can do it. And then he goes on to say, and every human has what it takes to get past whatever they're going through. Let me put a pin right there. You have what it takes to get past whatever it is that you're going through. Now, it's easier to just give up. It's easier to just give in than it is to fight for whatever it is that you want. And so I'm trying to encourage you, believe in yourself. See, here's the thing. You need to believe in you even when nobody else believes in you. I'll tell people in a minute, you don't ever have to believe in me if you don't want to, because I'm going to believe in me. Always have, always will. Doesn't matter whether you believe in me or not. And he says, if they decide to push through it, tragedy and trials come to everybody. Only the strong survive. Let me say that one more time, because I think sometimes people think that only a select group of people experience tragedies and trials, and that is not true. That is so untrue. Do you know that there are people who have everything in life? They are amongst the elite groups of people. They have degrees coming out the yin yang. They have 6 and 7 figure jobs. They live in mansions. They live in many mansions. They're driving the latest car and all this other great stuff they have going for them. And they are sometimes the very people that are going through some trials and tribulations. But that's why I love how he reminds us, and when I say he, was Eric Thomas, he reminds us that everybody experiences trials and tribulations. Now, what you're going through may not be what I'm going through, and what I'm going through may not be what somebody else is going through. We go through things on levels. Your stuff may be up here, and my stuff may be down here, but we're still going through something nonetheless. So don't sit and think that just because you were born into a specific family that you're not going to have trials and tribulations, or you have a certain dollar amount in your account, or certain people, or you work at a certain organizations that you're a certain organization that you are not going to have trials and tribulations, because you are. You can raise your kids right in every way, shape, or form. Make sure they went to church. Make sure they know the Lord. Raise them to have manners and just to be all around good people. And then once they get of age, they can still stray off and do their own thing. It happens all the time. It happens all the time. So stop thinking that because you have a certain thing, or you grew up in a certain neighborhood, you have this, that, and the third, that you're not going to experience trials and tribulations, because you are, and you will. Next quote is by Eric Thomas again. He says, some of you are not successful because every single time you run up against a trial, every time you run up against the tribulation, you stop and you cut off beast mode. And what I'm here to tell you is, if you kill that thing, I'm here just like you're here, and I promise you I will not leave without that goal. He says, I will not leave without that opportunity until I am successful. He says, I am not phenomenally skilled, but phenomenally willed. I will not give up. I will not surrender. I will not quit. So essentially what he is saying and reminding us is that some people, you're in beast mode until you're in beast mode until you come up against something, that trial, that tribulation, that all of a sudden you cut off beast mode, and you're afraid, and you don't want to do things, and you're scared. And I love how he says that I will not leave without that goal. See, I'm one of these people that I set a goal for myself, and I'm not leaving until I achieve that goal. I am going to do everything that I need to do in order to achieve the goal that I've set for myself. I won't allow you or anybody else to keep me from achieving my goal. He says, I will not leave this opportunity until I am successful. And I love it when he goes on to say, I will not give up, I will not surrender, and I will not quit. I will not. Now, here's the thing. Unless God speaks to me and says, Michelle, I want you to cut that thing off because I got something better over here for you. Let that go. I'm proud of you for standing tall and sticking with it, but I got something better over here for you. If God speaks to me and tells me to do that, that's fine. I will do it just like that. Otherwise, I'm not quitting, I'm not giving up, and I'm not giving in. I am going for everything that I know that God has for me. I am going after everything. Do you hear what I'm saying? I will not quit. You cannot make me quit. I told y'all the story of how a guy I met said that I had never been broken by a man, and he said, I guarantee you I will. And I looked him dead in the eye, said, I guarantee you won't. I promise you, you're gonna give up before I will. And lo and behold, that's exactly what he did, because you can't break me. You cannot break me. When I am determined that I'm going after something, I promise you I'm going after that thing, and I'm not going to allow anybody to keep me from having that which God has called me to have. Period. End of sentence. I'm gonna move on because that kind of stirred something up in me. And so the next quote is by Eric Thomas, and he says, I need you to match whatever effort the enemy is putting up. Y'all, that shout you. That's another shout moment. See, when the enemy fights you so hard, it's because he knows that you are on the cusp of achieving something great. The enemy knows that thing that you're looking for is right around the corner. The enemy knows that, just like the man with the pickaxe, if you chop away at that dirt one more time, whatever it is that you're looking for is right there. And so the enemy is going to do whatever he or she has to do to try and keep you from achieving that goal. So that's why whatever fight they're putting up, honey, you need to come back, and what did he say? You need to match it. If the enemy is fighting you times 10, you need to fight the enemy times 20. You understand what I'm saying? Match whatever the enemy is trying to throw at you to keep you from achieving your goal. And I promise you, the enemy will have no other choice but to flee and leave you the you-know-what alone, because they're saying, oh, wait a minute, I need to back off because Michelle ain't the one. No, Michelle is not. You will not discourage me. You just will not, because I am determined. I am determined to go after everything that is due me. I am determined to achieve the goals that I've set for myself, and I will not allow the enemy to deter me. So, come on, enemy, you want to You want to step to me and go toe to toe? It's all good. Bring it on, because I'm ready for you. I am ready for you. I promise you, you're going to give up long before I will. Next quote is by Eric Thomas again. And he says, as long as you have got breath in your nostrils, don't you ever give up. If you want to be successful in this game, you got to have a dog within you. You got to know it's a dog fight, and you got to get that fight. Life ain't going to be easy. Ain't nobody going to hand you nothing. Stop running from it and run to it. That'll shout you. That's another shouting moment. Y'all need to stop running from stuff and start running to it. Bishop, what is his name? Lord have mercy. And I can see his face. He's deceased now, but he was telling a story, and he was talking about how if you've ever had one of those dreams and you're constantly running in your dream, he said, I want you to stop. He said, I want you to stop and turn around and face whatever that thing is that you're running from. And it's so funny he said that, because I've had dreams over the year where the whole dream is spent with me running, and I'm just running and I'm running, and every so often I stop and catch my breath, but I never ever see what it is that I'm running from. And so when I wake up, I say, Lord, now I just spent my whole dream running. What was I running from? I need you to show me what is it that I was running from. And so when I heard the bishop tell that story, I said, all right, I'm going to do my best to try and remember the next time I have a dream and I'm just running, I'm going to stop and I'm going to turn around and face it. And a couple of times I was actually able to do it and I didn't see anything. So the question then became, what is it that I was running from? That's a whole nother video for a whole nother time. But like he says, stop running from it and run to it. You just say, I'm here and I ain't going nowhere. No matter how hard it is, no matter how difficult it is, no matter how challenging it is, you've got to believe you've got to believe when you can't see, you've got to believe it. So that's how faith is. That's exactly how faith is. You don't see things that God is doing, but you have the faith that he's going to do it because he said he was going to do it. That's just like when you go to God in prayer with whatever it is that you need, you have to have the faith that he's going to take care of it. And that's why you can thank him in advance. You don't see it. And some people may ask you, well, why are you thanking God? He hasn't done anything. Well, you know why? He hasn't done anything yet, but I believe that he will, so I can thank him in advance. But like he says, you've got to believe it when you can't see it. You've got to call it when all the odds are against you. So when it looks like all the odds are stacked against you, you still have to call that thing in your favor. I dare you to do it. I double dare you to do it. The next time it seems like something is not going to work in your favor, or you may think there is no way in 10 hells that this could work in my favor, I want you to call it and say, you know what, Lord, I will be successful. This will work out in my favor. You are going to make a way. I dare you to do it. And again, that's by Eric Thomas. Next quote is by Bishop T.D. Jakes, and he says, your destiny is in the fire. If you run from the fire, you will run from your destiny. Your destiny is in the problem. Your destiny is in the store. Your destiny is in the fight. So if you run away from the fight, you run away from your destiny. See, sometimes, here's the thing that some of y'all are missing. You have missed that blessing, i.e. your destiny, because when things got too heavy, you got afraid. You were afraid and you ran away. You said, oh, no, I can't do that. But what you didn't know is if you faced that thing head on, your destiny was right there in the fire. So the next time that the devil, the universe, whatever you want to call it, comes up against you, I dare you to not run away from it. I dare you to stand and face it, because your destiny is in the problem. But if you run away from the problem, you're never going to achieve your destiny. That'll shout you right there. Next quote is by Eric Thomas, and this is my last quote. He says, you are not a victim. Y'all hear what I said? You are not a victim. You are a victor. I need you to remember that. If you don't remember anything else I've said, and all these quotes will be in the description box, you are not a victim, but you are a victor. And the only thing standing between your success, so you are the only thing standing between your success. It's you. Because you want to play victim, and you really are a victim. The only thing standing from you doing what you know you've been called to do is you. You are the only thing that's standing in the way of achieving whatever it is that God has called you to do. The only thing is you. Nobody can stop you. You are the only person that can stop you. So stop talking like a victim. Stop thinking like a victim. Stop acting like a victim and walk into your destiny. Walk into it. Again, that quote was by Eric Thomas. So I hope this is helping somebody. I hope somebody is saying, you know what, Michelle, this is speaking directly to me, because I have spent my whole life acting like a victim. I've spent my whole life running from everything. And I need to stop doing that. I need to address it, because here's the thing. The world's not going to give you anything. You have to, excuse me, you have to earn it. But if you keep running away every time, okay, that's just like perfect example. My parents just celebrated their 59th wedding anniversary yesterday, or day before yesterday. And do you honestly think that anybody can stay married that long and not have some ups and downs, some highs, some lows, some ins and outs? Luckily, whatever issues my parents may have ever gone through, they didn't share that with my sister, my brother, and I. And that's the way life should be. I think nowadays too many parents share too much of their business with their kids, but those are your kids, do with them what you want. But I say that to say that any relationship that's worth having, you are going to have some ups and downs. But if every time something comes up, you want to run away from that relationship, you want to break up, how in the world can you expect to build anything long term if you keep running away from it? It's like your job. If things happen on the job and just because you didn't get that promotion or you didn't get that assignment you were hoping for, and you decide, okay, well, I'm done, I'm out of here, I'm leaving, I'm going to find me another job, you're going to be job hopping quite often, because chaos happens everywhere, and it happens to all of us, again, no matter where you work. So in order to achieve your goal and move from being a victim to a victor, you have got to be willing to face things head on. And I get it. I understand. Sometimes it's hard to do that. And we don't want to do that, but you have to. That's just like if you're in a relationship right now, and I don't know who I'm talking to, but if you're in a relationship right now and that relationship is experiencing some issues and you all have not sat down to talk about it because you keep skirting around the issues, or you think if you don't talk about it, then you don't have to address it. Essentially what you're doing is running away from it. All you're doing is prolonging the inevitable. Eventually that relationship is going to die. It's going to fall apart, and you are going to end up going your way and they're going to end up going their way. And all you had to do was have a conversation. Do you know how many times you can fix something by just having a simple conversation? I'm not talking about that yelling back and forth, because that's one thing I don't do. I'm not going to sit and yell. I don't yell at me because I'm not going to yell at you. I cannot stand that. But I'll sit and we can have a conversation. And I guarantee you, if you sit down and talk about whatever's going on, and this is in any situation, be it work, home, friendships, whatever, you can overcome whatever's going on if you're willing to sit down and talk about it. But the key is you've got to push through it. If you don't push through it, you will never, ever, ever, never, ever achieve the goal that you set out to achieve. It's just like if you come to the edge of a stream, excuse me, my signs are draining. It's a shallow stream, so you could actually walk, through it, but you don't want to get your expensive Coach shoes wet. But what you need is on the other side of that stream, and you keep coming to the water's edge, acting like you didn't know the water was there, but you knew it was there because it's always there. But every day you come to the water's edge and you look at that water and you go, I wish I had a boat because I need to get to the other side. And you go back in the house, you're running from the chaos. You go back into the house and you think about it, and tomorrow you come out and you do the exact same thing. You keep running from the inevitable. The only way you're going to get to the other side is to walk across that stream of water. And you keep running from it because, again, you don't want to get your coat shoes wet when all you had to do was take the daggone shoes off and walk across the stream. But you couldn't see any further than your nose to be able to see that. And you were not willing to push through to get to the other side. You wanted it to be easy. You wanted life to hand you something. You wanted life to hand you a boat for you to be able to ride across to ride across to get to the other side. That way you didn't have to get your feet wet or your shoes wet. But again, life's not going to hand you anything. You've got to work for it. You have got to work for it. I say the only way you don't work for something is if you have a rich aunts and uncles and grandparents and parents and they leave you money in the will. Other than that, you've got to work for what you have. But you've got to stop running from stuff every time it comes up. Because if you do, you will never ever get past the point of where you are because you don't know how to face that thing head on. So like I said, I don't know who this message is for, but I hope that you listen to what I've said and you take it in and you say, you know what, I'm going to stop running from things. I'm going to stop running from things and I'm going to face things head on because I deserve so much better in life. And until I stop playing the victim and become a victor, I'm not going to have that which I need. Y'all, that's it. That's my time. Hopefully something I said helps you to be able to push through. And I'm going to say this. Excuse me. I'm going to say this too before I let you go. I don't know who I'm talking to, but somebody is dealing with something. Somebody's dealing with something. It could be the loss of someone. It could be the loss of a relationship. It could be the loss of a job, a business, your car, your home, your money, whatever it is. I need you to push through because somebody somewhere is counting on you. You may not be aware of it, but somebody is counting on you. And I need you to rise up and you match the devil toe to toe with whatever he or she is trying to do to beat you down. You match the energy they give, you give it right back. But you keep pushing through. Don't you give up. Don't you give in because you're better than that. Okay, that relationship didn't work. That's all right. God will send on somebody else. You couldn't keep that house. That's all right. God will send on someplace else for you to live that you can afford. Your car got repossessed. That's all right. God's going to send you on a car that you can afford. You lost a loved one. Life happens. We come here going away. You have family, you have friends and people that know you, that love you, and they're going to be there to help you through that time. Remember the good times that you were able to share with that person. And you make them proud by pushing forward and continuing to do the work that you've been doing. Or maybe you take up a cause in that person's name. I don't know, and it doesn't even really matter. All I'm asking is that you keep pushing forward. And don't you give up, no matter what. I know it's going to get heavy, it's going to get hard, but please promise me that you will keep going and you will not give up. If you're new to watching my videos, I want to say welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, I do car conversations every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and on Saturday. So join me again tomorrow, and I'll be doing another car conversation. If this is not your first rodeo, I say welcome back. Y'all know I miss you and I don't get a chance to see you. Go out there, enjoy the rest of your evening. If you're going out, I just ask that you all be safe, be careful, watch your surroundings, because we're living in some crazy times. So just be careful as you go out and enjoy your evening. If you're going to spend it in the house like myself, y'all know me, I'll probably find me a good Christmas movie to watch and drink me some hot chocolate or hot tea, we'll see. And spend the rest of my evening watching television. And like I said, I have to get up tomorrow and I have a training class to go to at church. Well, we're setting up for communion because this Sunday is communion Sunday. So we're going to get the communion elements set up. And then I have a class that I'm taking at my church. And then I'll be on back so that I can record my podcast. But I love you all to the moon and back. And you know the drill, you know the spiel. There's nothing you can do about it. Absolutely nothing at all. Go out there, do what you've been called to do. Push through it. Don't give up because I believe in you. And don't leave me out here by myself where I'm the only one believing in you, because I believe in you. Love you all, and we'll talk again in the morning.